Scorpio, what's going on, everybody? It's Sam from CancerMoonsTarot, and welcome into your July 2023 tarot reading. How are you? I hope all is well. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here for Team Scorpio regarding their month of July. If you would like to get a personal reading with me, feel free to check out my website, CancerMoonsTarot.com. You'll find that in the first link in the description below. But what's going on here for Scorpio? Throughout July 2023, messages coming in here for Team Scorpio. Let's go ahead and check it out, guys. Starting out here with the overall energy of the reading, the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is very, very strong in reference to not wanting to talk, not wanting to communicate. So definitely giving me kind of the vibe of ignoring somebody or just ignoring communication here overall. So you're giving somebody here a bit of the cold shoulder just to start off here, jumping into July. Looking at the current energy, Knight of Swords, but you're talking to other people though. So you might not be talking to somebody here specifically, but communication is still open. I do feel like somebody's still trying to reach out to you. Yeah, taking a look at what you're dealing with here, Nine of Pentacles, you're showing somebody you're okay without them. Looking at the current outcome, Seven of Pentacles, they're being very patient here, waiting, hoping you'll make a reinvestment, Scorpios. So I feel like you have somebody here who really wants to be involved with you again. Now, keep in mind, it doesn't have to be purely romantic. So this doesn't have to be somebody who's trying to reconcile with you romantically. It could be, but it also could be about maybe somebody wanting to make amends within your family, within your friendships, etc. So I'm getting the vibe here automatically jumping into July. Not June, jumping in July, that somebody here really wants to be on good terms with you again, but you are giving them the cold shoulder. I do see that you want to show somebody that you're fine without them, you're self-sufficient. I'm kind of getting the feeling here where maybe somebody might have made you feel like you need to rely on them, and that was definitely something that was very uncomfortable for you because you're like, no, I don't need to rely on you. I never did. And that could even be family. Didn't just have to be anything else. It could be family or a lover, something of that nature. But yeah, I kind of get that feeling where somebody was like, yeah, you depend on me. And Scorpio, you were like, no, the fuck I don't, you know? So you're doing your best here to kind of prove a point, I feel, jumping into your month. Let's go ahead and clarify this Four of Cups. Why is Scorpio not talking to someone here? The World card here and the Page of Swords. Honestly, I think that not only are you really on the outs with this person, but I think that whatever went down between the two of you has kind of moved you into a direction where you're pretty hesitant to want to give them a second chance. Page of Swords, you know they're keeping an eye on you. You know they're thinking about you, talking about friends to you. You know this person wants to talk, but I don't really feel like the cold shoulder is just the cold shoulder anymore. It almost kind of feels like you're moving in a direction where maybe you want to create some permanent distance between you and another person. So what went down with Scorpio and this person? What went down? Hangman, Devil, Three of Pentacles, and the Magician. So Hangman card showing up over here for you. I feel like the Hangman being an energy that represents stagnancy. It could represent stagnancy. It also can represent an epiphany though. You know what it is, Scorpio? I would say this is more of an epiphany energy to me. So the Hangman here to the Devil, I think you just realize somebody for who they are. You kind of recognize somebody here was toxic in your life jumping into the month of July. So with that realization showing up for you, I think you decided to shift your focus. Three of Pentacles, you decided to work on other things. You know, instead of building in this relationship to whoever this person is to you, it was more about maybe I should focus on building myself, you know, surrounding myself with more positivity, building myself, building my life. You know, I don't really want to keep investing energy into the Devil. So you were seeing how somebody here had an epiphany about how somebody here was having a very negative influence on you or was creating a negative environment for you here jumping into July. And with the Magician card showing up for you, I think you recognized here, Scorpio, I have an option. You know, I can keep showing up and allow this devil-like energy to walk all over me, or instead, I can decide to work on myself and manifest the things that I desire in my life. So looking at the situation of what went down between you and this person, I just feel like they started to show their red flags. You know, they started to show who they really were, and you had an epiphany that you were dealing with the devil, and that's not something you want to be dealing with any longer here in July 2023. You'd rather focus on improving your quality of life and surrounding yourself with the right kind of crowd and the right kind of people. Yeah. Now, in reference to the Nine of Pentacles, I was telling Scorpio about how, you know, somebody here might have felt like Scorpio for some reason was dependent on them. So why would this person think that? Because the Devil here can be a card of codependence. Why did this person think Scorpio was dependent on them? We have here the Ace of Cups. We have here the Five of Swords. And we have here the Queen of Pentacles. Someone here thought you were dependent on them because you stood through their bullshit. Five of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, right? So through thick and thin, you stood with them throughout all the BS they might have brought to the table. And this person's pretty well aware of the BS that they brought to the table here as well. So if they did something to you that was wrong, they were aware that they had wrongdoing against you. And I almost kind of feel in a way here too, it was like they were testing you in a way to see how much you could take. And considering that each time you seem to be forgiving, you seem to continue to be loving towards them, this individual here kind of took that as, well, Scorpio is, dependent or reliant on me. And at the end of the day, Scorps, I think you were just coming from a place where you were being loving and forgiving, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It wasn't that you were dependent on the person you were dealing with, but, you felt that if you really loved and cared for somebody, no matter what, through thick and thin, you're going to bat for them. You're going to be there for them. And I think that the person you were dealing with here, kind of took that as, Scorpio's not going nowhere. I have Scorpio wrapped around my finger. At the end of the day, I can get away with murder. It was that kind of vibe, is what they were perceiving. But that's far from the truth. Inevitably, you got very tired here of their games, of their attitude, of whatever negativity they brought to the table. And of course, that's why you started giving them the cold shoulder. But I think you're recognizing in July, the more that I keep giving them this cold shoulder, the more I almost want to make this a permanent distance and severance of ties between me and this individual. Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look here and see what's showing up in your challenge position for the month of July. We have here the Moon card. It's tricky because you care for them. You definitely feel for the person you're dealing with. I can see that here for sure. But despite the fact of your feelings, I think that this is about you recognizing it's time to choose the head over heart. Even though the heart may speak very loud on this person's behalf, logistically, is this the right approach to be surrounded with the devil or dancing with the devil? So clarifying the Moon card, how does Scorpio feel, or what is Scorpio going to do about their feelings? We have here the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Wands. Yeah, Queen of Cups is about taking a look within emotionally. All right, it's about taking a look within emotionally and really asking yourself, am I making the right choice if I was to stay, or am I making the right choice if I was to go? And with the Ten of Wands showing up here, being a card of suffering and dealing with a lot of burdens that came out of this connection with you and this person, I think that not only in the heart, but as well as logically, you're realizing it's not worth it putting you in a vulnerable state to get hurt. So I think you're realizing it's probably best to protect myself emotionally here at this time. So even though it's a bit of a challenge because you care for them, logistically, you want to protect your feelings, you want to protect your emotions, okay? All right, moving on here forward for Scorpio. By the way, there was somebody here who subscribed earlier. Thank you. I don't know where the name went, but thank you. I saw that pop up for a second. But moving forward, what can Scorpio expect here throughout the rest of July 2023? And we got here the Star card. This is Aquarius energy. You might be dealing with Aquarius. So looking at what you can expect throughout the rest of the month, the Star here is about going in the direction that's right for you. I think you're trusting your gut. You're trusting your intuition. You're trusting that the universe is going to take you where you need to be. And I also think that you're listening to what feels right at this time as well, You're kind of recognizing, Scorps, it feels right being without this person or being distant from this person. And if that feels right to me, I should probably keep listening to my instincts. I should probably keep listening to what my intuition is telling me. So Star card here says you're going to follow the path of what feels right, of what feels most fulfilling, and you're going to trust the process of knowing that wherever you go is where you're supposed to be. So I think you're trusting yourself a lot more, and you're allowing yourself to really listen to what you think would be the best opportunity, or the best approach here in your situation. So you're going to keep following your gut throughout the rest of the month. Taking a look here at the overall outcome for July 2023, we have here the Emperor. Yeah, really stepping back into your power. It's funny because it's like the person you're dealing with, they always felt like they had some sort of power over you. Remember how I said they had this energy where they can kind of feel like they can get away with murder with you because they've put you through the ringer, they put you through a lot, you've always stuck it out and, been with them through thick and thin. I think that their ego got so big to the point where it was like, yeah, Scorpio's going nowhere. They felt like they had the power, but now looking at the outcome here being the Emperor, you're the one here very clearly with the power because, as I mentioned, with the original outcome, Seven of Pentacles, person you're dealing with was waiting for you. They were hoping that you would come back, and they still are hoping that you'll come back in July. But the Emperor is a person who represents and recognizes that they have a power of choice. The Emperor doesn't have to conform, submit, or do anything that the Emperor doesn't want to do. The Emperor does as they please. So with that being said, Scorpio, you're going to continue to do as you please throughout the rest of July 2023. And like I mentioned, you're not going back to this person over here. I don't even think you're genuinely even communicating to this person here at this time either. So you are really reinforcing your power of choice here, and you're choosing to continue to keep on doing you. All right, Scorps, let's go ahead and have a look here though and see what the most important message is going to be for you guys in July. So what's the most important message for Scorpios that they need to hear? We got 3 cards coming out. We got here a Sun, a Hermit, and a 7 of Wands. Wow. So that's a very clear message saying that you're better off without this situation and this person. Emperor card, or sorry, not Emperor, Hermit card, Virgo energy. It's a card here that represents distancing yourself, going into hermit mode, staying at an arm's length distance from an individual. 7 of Wands is a card here that represents blocking or pushing someone away and being very firm about it. 7 of Wands is the energy of resilience. So it's like you're going to be very firm to not go back to this person. And if you do that, you're going to end up being happier with the Sun card. So Scorpios, it's kind of like, if there's any good message I can give you, letting this person go and continuing to focus on your life, I think is going to be one of the best things that's going to help you and make you the happiest at this time. If you were to reinvite the devil back into your life, it might not play out necessarily the best way that it can. You're the one that has the power right now, but giving back into this situation with this person not only is going to make them think that they have power again, but at the same time, I don't feel like there's genuine change showing up in their energy. I feel like they're going to continue to behave the way that they had. Let's actually look into that real quick. If Scorpio was, just out of curiosity, to go back to this person, reinvite them into their life, whoever this is, whether it's a lover, a family relationship, friendship relationship, whatever the case may be, if Scorpio reinvited this person back into their energy, how would things pan out? Would the person Scorpio is dealing with be genuine to them, loving to them, or would they behave the same exact way? 5 of Cups over here, 8 of Swords over here, and let's get one more card. King of Swords showing up here as well. Yeah, 5 of Cups is the energy to me that represents that misery loves company. I do feel like they're still going to be pretty bitter. But with the 8 of Swords here, I do feel that they would be pretty concerned and worried about you walking away again. Now, is this temporary, or would they eventually revert back to their old self? King of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups. There you go. Yeah, so temporarily, Scorpio, what would happen is if you were to go back to this person, they'd be pretty anxious. So they'd be anxious about you leaving or walking away again. So they would show up and be kind, loving. They would do everything they can to kind of keep you around as long as they could. But then once they get comfortable again with you, that's when they would revert into their old ways, right? King of Pentacles, very comfortable energy. Then you got here the 6 of Cups, which represents history and the past repeating itself. So I feel like this person here temporarily would show up and be a different person, but then they would go back to how they were once they got comfy. So it does feel to me like the cycle would repeat here regardless. And I do want to mention as well for any Scorpios who are watching, right? Even though that this is what the cards are saying, even though this is what I'm feeling for your reading, always use your discernment. If you don't want to listen to me and move on from this person, if you want to give the connection a chance, a friendship a chance, whatever it is, you're more than inclined to always use your free will. So always remember that. I don't want anybody to ever feel like you have to listen to everything that I'm saying, right? You can take it in and take it with a grain of salt and formulate your own opinion about it. But this is what I'm seeing here for you guys. So if you were to happen to go back in this direction with this person, I feel like they might, be a little different in the beginning. They might be a lot nicer, but once they get over that anxiety of losing you again, they're going to revert right back here to their old ways. It feels like history would repeat itself, okay? All right, guys, before we close out your reading, I just want to see if there's any advice coming in from the universe for Scorpio. So is there any advice coming in from the universe for this situation throughout July 2023? And what do we got? We got here the Strength card. Excuse me. We got here the Empress, and we have here The Hierophant. Yeah, I feel like you're just being called to be more devoted to yourself. This is the time for self-exploration and growth. Honestly, Scorpio, I think there's a lot on the horizon for you if you allow yourself to be open to what comes next. Strength card showing up here is a card that represents taking a step back. It's about taming the beast. So I feel like the universe is saying, tame yourself. Don't jump back into this. Empress card, there's so much more beautiful things out there. And there's also like a lot of growth coming in here for you. If you were to move on from this person, there will be a lot more growth coming into your life and a lot more positive situations ahead here in your future. And I feel like with the Hierophant showing up here, universe wants you to focus on being devoted to yourself and being devoted to whatever comes next in your life. There is a new path showing up here for you. So you don't have to take it if you don't want to, but universe says if you do, there's going to be a lot of beauty coming from this. We got here the Empress, which is one of the most beautiful cards in the tarot, and it represents a lot of high vibrational energy here as well. So Scorpio's universe here is given that clear direction as well, that kind of abstaining from this situation and doing your own thing and just keeping your options open is going to guide you to a path that will probably be more favorable for you, more positive, and something that you're going to enjoy overall. Okay? All right, though, Scorps. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for coming out here to your July 2023 tarot reading. I really appreciate it. I do hope you enjoyed it. And of course, I hope it helped out in any way that it could. So if it resonates, do let me know down in the comments down below. If it's not your story, absolutely no worries. As always, Scorpios, if you're new here, I would really appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, feel free to. I'd be more than happy to welcome you here into the Soul family. Definitely feel free to drop a like if you enjoyed. And of course, if you want a personal reading, first link in the description below. I'll be happy to book you over there. But Scorps, I love you. Have a great July, and I will see everybody in the next video. Much love, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.